out of utter respect to the communities, I just want to be explicitly clear that this is an analysis based on a massive amount of requests on DM, Twitter, on Discord, on YouTube. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a look at what CRTD is doing. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again on this happy Saturday. This is ARCa coming at you with a CRTD technicals, raw price action, and some statistical thread of analysis. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. Guys, make sure not to fall for those WhatsApp comments and text me comments down below, okay? The helplines and all that stuff. That is not me. I will never put my contact information like that. And please consider by all means not interacting with any of those crooks. Okay, you guys, they just want your money and they want to take away your stuff. Okay, so please just make sure to not fall for that stuff. Okay, you guys, now let's go ahead and dive right into CRTD. All right, so the first chart we're going to be looking at here is the supply and demand zones that we've been looking at for quite some time. This is essentially that massive ascending triangle or bear flag that we actually were able to look at before the downside, right? What's really interesting here is what's actually starting to form based on the price action since I last saw this chart. Okay, so it's actually this right over here. Please notice the formation that's happening here. So this is a descending triangle, and or a right-angled triangle, right? And this is actually forming on the 8-hour chart, which is a very important thing, and we're right at the resistance of it. Okay, so what I am essentially saying here is that we may actually be breaking out of this triangle to the upside in it's a little premature. Okay, so and the reason why I'm saying premature is because typically these triangles tend to have a breakout at about 70 to 75% to the apex of it. Okay, so we're not exactly there just yet, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. It's just less probable, and it's not looked at often like this. Okay, but still the price action is suggesting a massive continuation to the upside. And in fact, the volume that we printed. The volume that we printed here on this 8-hour candle alone was just almost 900,000. Okay, so this is quite impressive considering all the the price action that's been happening before. Okay, so now let's go ahead and now move on to the next chart. This is a very important thing that I wanted to talk to you about. I also touched on it for GTII, and what we're looking at here is the Crypstex ARC-Series Enhanced MACD. Okay, so the Enhanced MACD includes Bollinger Bands, aka volatility. Okay, so you guys know that I talk about volatility versus momentum very much often, and this is actually a shortcut to what I essentially do in an easier way, right? So that you pretty much don't have to do this, right? So this is essentially my back test of volatility versus momentum. Okay, so this is a very light version of what I do manually. Okay, so volatility represented by the Bollinger Bands and momentum represented by the moving average of the MACD itself. Okay, alongside the features, it actually does give you bull and bear signals as well. Okay, so what I am noticing here is something very specific. Okay, so whenever volatility tends to contract into very tight levels, I'm talking about the red cloud. Okay, when it tightens up into these contractive levels, that usually means that a pretty powerful move to the downside or upside is likely to happen. Now, the reason why it's up or down is because volatility is direction neutral. Okay, so we notice right over here that we contracted into a very similar tight space, just like we did on this iteration prior to this massive capitulation event. And we also contracted to a very tight level down here before this explosive move to the upside, getting us that bull signal very early and very aggressive before that massive upside. So you're looking at the bull signal printed here on the enhanced MACD MACD on the opening of this candle iteration right over here on September 22, 2022, which was at about 7 cents, 7.25. Okay, so what essentially happened is that upon the contraction, the volatility or Bollinger Band started expanding, thus giving us this huge move to the upside. Okay, you guys. So, and then the upside, finished just at about, let's see, November 22nd, 2022. So this gave us literally a 2-month heads up, almost perfect 2 months. Okay. The other thing that we noticed here is that we did get this bear signal right up here on, let's see, November 22nd. Yeah, November 22nd was that bear signal and essentially took us all the way to the downside. Okay. I know that we have a bear signal printed right here. But the important thing here is to notice momentum. What is momentum doing versus volatility? Please always notice that I always look at the very, very, very tiny nuances, okay? I don't let anything escape without me actually getting a grasp of it, okay? So please notice that we have contracted. Volatility has now contracted again, okay? Just like we did over here, we're very tight right over here. My apologies for that. Let me just go ahead and make sure that doesn't make a sound. Highly unprofessional. Anyway, so momentum is actually starting to pivot towards the upside while we're fully contracted, which usually means that the upside would, probably be favored. Okay, just like it did here. Okay, we started that little U shape right over here, just like we're getting in this iteration here. Okay, very interesting stuff. If you are interested in acquiring the 8 indicators that are offered in the package for the Crypstex ARC-Series indicators, definitely consider reaching out to me on Discord, via DM, right? Twitter DMs, or my email located in the about section of my YouTube profile under for business inquiries only. Okay, consider reaching out. We'll go ahead and get you situated, and we'll talk about the subscription packages for these awesome indicators. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and now move on to the next chart. I wanted to touch on this right here, since I've already began a massive back test over here that involves momentum versus volatility, particular to the contraction zones that we're on, which are already being shown here. Okay, so Enhanced MACD is showing you contraction. Okay, we were fully contracted back here as well. Now, BBWP representing volatility is actually showing that we are almost at critical volatility or critical contraction, okay, which could be anything within the 15th percentile. Okay, so the interesting thing here is that yes, while we're not quite there yet, as you can see, the volatility component and the moving average are not quite at that critical volatility zone, this backtest would essentially be useless unless we are within it or at it. Okay, so what I am noticing here though is that we have both of the K average and D average representing, D average and K average representing the 14-day simple moving average momentum and a 3-day simple moving average momentum in a stochastic momentum indicator, which is proprietary to TradingView software. Okay, please definitely refer to the links below, because there is an affiliate link there where you can actually join or subscribe to the TradingView software, so you can actually join me and trade alongside me or chart alongside me on these daily videos. Okay, the interesting thing here is that both of these moving averages are pivoted towards the upside alongside being at very close to that critical contraction zone. Okay, this usually indicates a powerful move to the upside. Okay, so as soon as we do touch that 15th percentile, if we don't touch it, then the backtest is essentially useless, okay? But we need to touch the 15th percentile in order for us to get that backtest done. So far, this would give us a massive accuracy, okay? Because this is a total of 65 iterations throughout the entire trading history of CRTD on the 8-hour chart, okay? Very important to notice these things. 65 is absolutely something that we can consider for making some very conscious decisions over over how much portfolio we would decide to long, okay, or short. But in this case, the shorts shouldn't be anywhere near this because this is actually showing a massive thrust to the upside. Let's go ahead and move on to the last part of the analysis, which is the RSI. So this is the divergence chart, and what we are looking at here is the opposition of price action versus momentum. In this case, momentum represented by relative strength index, a little more aggressive and a little less delayed than stochastic momentum, but still representing a 14-day simple with this pink line, and the RSI signal is actually the purple line. Okay, you guys, we are looking at it's actually just a single drive, just one single drive of hidden bullish divergence. Okay, so in this case, it is a phantom hidden bullish divergence, and you're looking at price action making a series of higher lows while momentum is making a series of lower highs. Okay, so this is essentially what you're looking at right over here for your convenience. Okay, very good stuff, and it is already in play. Let's go ahead and now open up that multi-pane to gain that true edge over the trade for the coming sessions. Okay, we're gonna load up the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame, just like we always do, just like we always practice. Okay, you guys, consistency is absolute key here. All right, so in the 30-minute immediate short term, we can actually see that we were using that 14-day simple moving average as a form of support, and now we have absolutely used that form of support for that continuation to the upside, and now we have moved into the bull strength percentile and absolutely outside of the gravitational zone, which would actually pose a danger for a retracement or a pullback. In this case, we are now well within the grips of the bull strength percentile in the immediate short term. Things are looking bullish right away. Bi-hourly suggesting a massive upside well in the bull weakness percentile, and the 14-day simple moving average is now starting to pivot towards the upside. This is absolutely strong and suggesting a continuation to the upside even still. Okay, so now the 8-hour time frame is where it's starting to get absolutely interesting. We have now made the bullish cross. Finally, I'm talking about since January 23rd, we are now making that bullish cross above the 14-day simple moving average and now entering the bull weakness percentile with an aggressive upside thrust. Okay, now the 12-hour time frame suggesting an upside continuation. It does appear to be a little bit limited, but that is normal. Okay, we can actually just face a pullback and then continue on to the upside. The reason why I can say continue on to the upside is because upon facing the resistance here from the gravitational zone and the 14-day simple, we can actually use the gravitational zone from the opposing zone where we're currently sitting as that bounce for the upside continuation. Okay, you guys, the next thing we're going to look at is the 3-day time frame, now making a very critically important cross above that 14-day simple moving average. And finally, okay, because the 3-day iteration has not had the RSI signal above this 14-day simple moving average since November 23rd, 2022. Okay, you guys, so this is absolutely important and imperative that we are aware of it, and we are now in the bull weakness percentile, which is absolutely good. Okay, the other thing that we must notice is that in the event to where we do pull back just a little bit, we will have support from not only the 14-day simple, but also from the gravitational zone from the prior zone, thus pushing us right up to that upside continuation. Okay, very good stuff here for CRTD in line. The 5-day RSI is now suggesting a continuation to the upside as well, and it could be temporary as there is the 14-day simple right above us. Okay, but this is likely to take, days and days for us to reach that upside and that resistance, okay, which honestly could be in respects to this zone right up here at about 90 cents. Okay, you guys, we still have to make our trek all the way up here, but with the impulsive movement that is happening right now, we can only imply or just take a look at the potentials for the upside continuation. Okay, in this case, we can take a trend line from the hypotenuse of the triangle down to the lowest point of the triangle. We apply it to the supposed area of breakout, which could honestly be in the next 8-hour iteration. Very interesting thing here is that it is taking us straight to the 2-spot 618 golden mean at 2664. Okay, you guys, that is absolutely a potential for us to reach in the shorter term time frame. I'm talking a few days if this thing doesn't just, catapult to the upside. Okay, you guys, very bullish things here for CRTD. If you please know that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever. Okay, I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be just fine. Okay, you guys. Now, with also please refer to the links in the description below, as you'll find Twitter, you'll find Discord there, and also you'll find an affiliate link for TradingView software, as it will help my trading future out greatly for you to sign up. Okay, you guys. With that said, I wish you well, a very good night, and a great rest of your weekend, and I will catch you at the bell on Monday. Adios.